Hey, it's Amari here from beautiful Aotearoa, New Zealand. That is to say, good morning from beautiful New Zealand. I am career break guy, taking a career break from, or taking a break from corporate life, I should say. If it's not morning where you are, whatever time you're watching this, you might be catching this on YouTube, then kia ora, which is to say hello. Today is TTRPG Thursday, and if you've been watching, there's a running show I've got on at the moment, which is following the City of Gold adventure by Per Holstrom. Apologies for the pronunciation. Using the Forbidden Lands game by Free League. As always, thank you to Free League for sending me a copy of the VTT so I can play this on Foundry. It's really well put together. It makes it very easy to play, which is great because I've never actually played Forbidden Lands before and I've never played this adventure before. So this is all new to me, which is why my character's already been captured by Saurians. So, last time we were here, what had happened was the party. We've got the party leader, my main character, if you will, Orvold. No, that's a token artwork. I wanted to give you the actual artwork. New character artwork. There you go, Orvold and his horse Fern. Fern, we don't know where she is. She wasn't captured when they entered the Saurian village. But Orvold was, along with his companions Gemma, the ranger, Halfter, the warrior, and Ulrich, the druid. They were vastly overwhelmed by Saurian guards and druids and sorcerers, and so they threw down their weapons and surrendered, were thrown into a cell, or a hut, and they've thankfully since escaped. Now, I've changed the background. You're probably used to seeing this map here, which is a great old map, and this comes with the base game, but through the magic of AI art, because I'm not an artist, I have drawn up a picture of the village. It's not an exact replica, but at least it's something a little bit different to look at. Right, so where we left off, the party had just escaped from the hut that they were being held captive in. They had found a bit of a pottery that was strong enough and sharp enough that they could cut their bonds. And I'm counting that as now Gemma has a knife. And they've climbed out a window, and we left it there. So let's pick up and see what's happening to our little party. Can't imagine it getting much worse, but then... Actually, I can. But I hope not. Alright, might also just turn this light up a little bit. Apologies whilst my face changes colour, and I start reaching all over the show to try and make things work. Alright, anyway. So, hiding in plain sight. Oh, by the way, this is a pick-a-path type adventure, which I'm playing through the solo adventure of the City of Gold. So, a dozen huts are spread out on what solid ground there is. Several walkways made from planks connect the huts in what seem to be random patterns. Everything looks like it will fall apart any second. A few lizard-looking humanoids can be seen scuttling about, fishing and cleaning pots. So far, no one has noticed you, and that's a good thing. As I said, this isn't a battle map or anything, this is just a nice little picture. These are our players, the rest of it's just background, they're not actually Saurians. So, further down a path you see a larger hut. It seems to have some significance to the village, as it is positioned further away. At the far end of the village stands a sturdy tower made of clay. Several floors high, it is impressive compared to the huts. A bronze gong hangs above the door of the building. There are 5 Saurians out and about, and it says I have to roll Sneak versus Scouting 4, which is 2 plus Scouting 2, to see if they notice me. If it's nighttime, you gain +1 modifier. So I think we came in at around lunch, so I'd say it's still early afternoon. And it would be great if the party just stays put, but they kind of need to start moving. They can't wait around for it to be night, someone might come back, so it's still in the day. We're not going to get a +2 modifier. So what I need to do is find out who has the lowest sneak skill. Or sneak stealth slash agility. Well, sneak? Sneak's not actually a thing. That's an interesting typo. Should say stealth versus scouting. Unless I'm reading this wrong. So stealth, he has got a 5, because 5 agility plus 0 there. Gemma, 5 and 0, so much the same. Get these character sheets off to one side. Halfter, Stealth 0, 3, so he's might be our least sneaky. And then 4 and 0. So Halfter is our least sneaky. And one of the joys is when you are doing these rolls, it is based on whoever is the lowest skill. Because obviously if everyone's really sneaky except one person is clanking around in their armor, not looking at anyone except maybe you, Halfter, then they're the ones that are going to be seen. So let's see how stealthy Halfter can be. And there's no help action for this. You can't help. Oh my gosh, Halfter! You sneaky thief of a man! Okay, so that's 2 successes. All you have to do in this game is roll a 6. This is the Year 0 engine. So for every 6 that you roll, and if you can see past my head, I can't really move it, but there it is. Past my head, you rolled 2 6s. So 2 successes. Good on you, mate. Actually, I wonder if seeing how my fat head is back there, I just move this over, and now you can see that chat bar better. Amazing. It's only taken 5 episodes to figure that out. Right, but what we do need to do, as it says, I need to roll scouting, which is wits 2, scouting 2 for these things. So we're going to roll 46 and see how many 6s they get. I really want this to work now. Oh, they got 1 6. So they got 1 success, but Halfter got 2. So our party somehow is sneakier than these guards. Halfter, you absolute legend. Okay, so if you succeed on this stealth roll, you can choose to stay here and investigate all the buildings, or sneak out to the edge of the village and then deeper into the swamps. Remember, everyone knows who you are and that the cult captured you. Convincing people not to call for guards might be difficult. Treat everyone in the village as hostile. The citizens are scared and will scutter to their houses, hiding if they see you. I guess we sneak out to the swamps. We do actually want to investigate this town, but I think maybe if we head out to the swamps for today, or just for now until it gets dark, and then we can sneak back in. I think that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to sneak out to these swamps and click over here. So unpleasant. Of course they make a nice map of the village and then almost immediately leave it. Okay, so the swamps. Unpleasant smells direct you to the swamp. Dead trees are overgrown with fungus and lichen. The fluttering of wings echo as you scare a handful of birds resting on a log in the water. Oh, and I've got little birds going on the map as well. He says, and then the birds immediately stop. Oh, there's one. Hey, birdie. It's all just one of the little plugins on Foundry. I actually really like the system. Right, broken planks are spread out in the area. The remains of a ruined hut stand alone on what you might call an island in the deep part of the swamp. Time to explore the dreadful place. Plenty of animal life here. Birds, small fish, frogs and similar. You can spot movement of 2 alligators in the water. Well, I don't want to mess with the alligators. We have no weapons, if you remember. They were taken from us when we were captured. They didn't strip us, so it's not that we lost our armor, but we only have 1 dagger between the 4 of us. And Ulfric is actually pretty hurt from that fight. Okay, so finding a path to E1, the home of the lizards, require you to spend at least 1/4 hour exploring the area. I'm going to say that because we just came from there, we can just go back there. No need to explore that one. Lingering too long in these parts will attract the hungry alligators. For each 1/4 hour spent searching the area, roll a d6. On a 1, the 2 alligators attack you before your discovery takes place. Once one of the 2 alligators is dead, the other will have a 50% chance of fleeing at the beginning of the round. And then there's some stats for alligators. Okay, so I guess we've got a 1/4 of a shift. A lot of Year 0 engine break the game down into shifts, so you've got 6-hour breaks and you know 4 things that you can do in a day: travel, eat, make camp, that kind of thing. I think on this shift, if it's mid-afternoon, we can wait a whole shift, so 6 hours. Maybe we'll just rest for a bit. And I think maybe is Gemma the one who's in the best condition? Yeah, Gemma with her knife might actually go exploring whilst the rest of them rest. So we'll rest. After all rest. Oh, frick, or rest. And Gemma is going out exploring. So, for each quarter thing, roll a d6. 1d6. No, not a 3. Cool, so now we can roll a... I mean, it doesn't say that... Oh, sorry, it's the d6 to see if the alligators attack. Now I think she just needs to make her general scouting roll to see what kind of things she can find, if anything. So let's give her a scouting roll. Oh, sweet, she gets a success as well. So what she finds is a... They've got a little table here, d4, 1, something in the water. So she looks down into the murky swamp water, and something is reflecting the dying light from above. What is it? As you try to pick it up, you lose your footing. Roll move. Move is here. Roll. Sweet, so she's got a 6, which is a pass. So if you pass, you manage to grab a sturdy branch at the last second before she falls, and puts her hand down and she holds it out and pulls up the shiny object. Phew! It actually says "few." So it's a treasure, and it's a dagger with gold and silver detailing. This is easily worth 10 silver or more, but more importantly, for me, is we now have 2 daggers. So she's going to return to the party who have all been resting and be like, hey, look what I found another dagger. We're like, what the heck, where'd you find that? But also great that you found that. So now 2 daggers. I guess the second one is going to go to... We'll give it to Halfdor, who's our warrior. I believe under items... Dagger? Dagger. Yeah, sweet. We'll give you a dagger. Did that work? At least now he can fight. And then otherwise we will take our break. We haven't eaten recently, but we did eat this morning. We had the big meal, got in a fight, rested, and then struck out. So it's not that we're going to starve or dehydrate this in this set of shift. And then we're going to sneak back into town at night. So return to the swamp, and then from the swamp we're going to go to the home of the lizards. So now we're coming back in at night. I wonder... Okay, let's see what this says. So if you visit the home of the Saurians in the night, it is very calm. There are 5 Saurians out and about, and they seem to ignore you. I think what it is they don't see us. This is the description for if you've come in there for the first time, but these ones haven't seen us. So should you decide to move closer to them, randomly determine their reactions by rolling wits. Well, we've already decided that they would be afraid of us. So maybe I actually just need to go back through and find the description from when we escaped. Is that going to be a more accurate description? Hide in plain sight. Okay, so yeah, 5 Saurians out and about. We haven't even noticed. So now what we can do is we can go to the swamps, which we've just done, so we're not going to go back there. So we are going to try and explore a bit more. So I think what we might do is we might go carefully down to that larger hut. If you remember, they said that there was a large hut which seemed to have some significance, and then also a tower. So let's check out that large hut, because we want to find some weapons. We've got 2 daggers between us, and a lot of Saurians who would not like us to be here. So we're going to go to this large hut. So this building is much larger than all the others, located just on the side of the village. It differs in design from the rest of the huts. Okay, so when we came back in, we remembered that there was a large hut, and when we came back in from the swamp, we kind of skirted around the village. Which is why we've come up against this one rather than back to the hut where we started and carried on through the middle of the village. So this is adorned with skulls of birds and other creatures, and seems to be fortified with metal bars and stronger wood. A rune, which could best be described as the mouth of a lizard, has been etched on the door. No one seems to be guarding this place, but the door is sadly locked. I think it's better to say the door is locked, sadly. Maybe that's incorrect. Anyway, there is also a there's a wee picture here. Can I just get a draw freehand? And it's kind of a little thing here, and it's got some little, and then it's got a little mouth, goes up, and then it's got some teeth looking things. And this bit comes a bit further out, and then down, up, down, up. And it's got like this little eye space here as well. Yeah, and then this bit is coloured in. Oh wow, this is great. I should have actually got a wee tablet I could have used to colour this all in. But I'm actually using it as a monitor so I can see what's going on. Cool, so anyway, that's the kind of symbol that's drawn on this door, the rune, if you will. I'll just need to clear all that off before I continue. Or not. Maybe it's important. Anyway, so it's the lizard face looking thing. So the entrance, back to the description, now that I've finished having my little art session. So the entrance of the large hut consists of a big door. The rune is an obvious indicator of the function of this building if you visited the village in the morning. If you did not, the function might not be that obvious, or just says all. There are no windows and no other doors. The big door is locked, and you have to either pick the lock with a successful sleight of hand, fail opens the lock but you make a noise, or bash the door in. To break the door, you'll need to do 3 damage in one blow using an axe, mace, or hammer, which we don't have. Bashing it will alert anyone who might be inside, and there is a 50% chance that 2 guards will come running to see what is happening. So this hut, I mean, this is a cult. Maybe this is the center of the cult. So what we're going to try and do is we are going to try and pick the lock. Who is our lock picker? Who's got our best sleight of hand? No, that's just the picture, please. Put the picture to one side. I wanted the character sheet, actually. There's our 4 characters. So Orvold, sleight of hand 1, plus agility 5, so he's got 6. Gemma has got 0 and 5. Halfter has got a knife, thankfully, 0 and 3. And oh, there's adverts on YouTube, because I've got YouTube music going. He's got 1 plus 4, so actually Orvold is going to try and find a little shard of metal and pick this lock. So let's roll and see what happens. Come on, success! Yes, okay, that's all you need, 1 success. So he's got his 6, one sleight of hand. And so getting this little... Looking around, maybe he's found a nail type thing, something that they're using to put it together, and he slides down into the lock, and he's just looking around and making sure no one else, and the other 3 are standing guard. He's Halfter and Gemma with their knives ready in case, but otherwise we're keeping to the shadows, and then with a satisfying click, but not a loud click, the lock comes open, and we are now going to be able to enter this building. So as you enter this large structure, oh, it's finally going our way. As you enter this large structure, you're met with the smells that you wish you could never smell. Ugh. Death surrounds this area. How did you not smell this before you entered this? It's incredible. Inside, it appears to be a church, and there stand several pillars, all with the runes of the lizard, each up to 4 meters tall. The pillars, not the runes, I imagine. So every pillar in the chamber is adorned with alligator skulls, snake bones, and dried skins of various animals. From the entrance to the center of the chamber is a large drag marks, as if heavy objects have been transferred to and from here. In a corner stands a small table, a simple bed, and a dresser. Looking a second time, you notice that one pillar is split in 2. Or is it opened? Is it hollow? Your previous adventure in the area will decide the setting of this location. Okay, so... Oh, the options are night, morning, or if you met the party and killed them. So we didn't kill them. We did fight them the first time, but we let them go free. So it's night and it's empty. You're free to roam this building. However, guards tend to walk past this area from time to time, and the closer to morning, the bigger the chance that someone returns to this place. Thankfully, we let dusk, twilight. We've come to the early part of night, maybe 9 o'clock. So we've got our best chance to explore through here. So, what we might do is... Oh, we've got some options. So you can examine the pillars closer, which might reveal something. Or there might be something of interest on table. What can we do? I think we're going to look at the table first. I know the pillars are on the way, but at the same time, you know, people are naturally drawn towards tables. So let's look at what's on the table. Yeah, a table, simple bed, and a dresser. Okay, looking at the table. So, oh weird. It says the cabinet is empty during the night. During the day, it contains fine robes. On the table lies a stone tablet carved with a, and it's a. See if my art comes through again. It's this little spiral-looking shape. A bit like a koru, you know, New Zealand, which is the fern unfurling. So that icon is on a stone tablet on the table. So it looks exactly like the one on your strange sheet. Oh yes, because we had a sheet, and there was a bunch of runes on it, including one that we saw on the stone pillars where the Saurians were having a ceremony. So deciphering this will take years, which we don't have. There is also a scroll containing magical symbols and text. You just find 12 silver, 31 copper, and a golden ring with 1d6. 2. If you are a sorcerer, none of us are sorcerers. So, I don't know, we have got a scroll which we don't know what it does. For convenience, I'm just going to give this to Orvold. Oh, you know what, we're going to say that their food and water was taken from them as well. That makes sense. Arrow's gone. We'll say they take the money. So, oh well, there's 12 silver and 31 copper, so if I just change this to 31. And a golden ring! Is there actually an item for gold ring? I'll just make one. Backpack. Gold ring. And it's a gear, create new item. Weight is tiny, because it is tiny. And it is worth... price 2 gold. There you go. Just that simple. And whilst I'm at it, I might as well take off the other one, the stuff for these other people. Gear. Yep, your food was and water was taken, and also your money, gone. Didn't expect it to do that. Gear, no food, no water. We just stocked up at the bar as well. That's a real shame. Or tavern. I wonder why it's doing that. Gear. Bruh! Hey, Moj. And we are returning to the Forbidden Lands. Oh. I didn't mean for Ulfric to rest. We'd already rested, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so. We've got... Oh, and a scroll, I forgot. So we'll just say, new item, magic looking scroll. There is a description of what it is, but he has no idea. And he's not a sorcerer. Unfortunately, Ulfric is a druid, so I'm going to say he doesn't necessarily know what it is either. Gear, create, tiny, main, let's just do, I don't know, maybe we'll put it here. We'll just say, see entry 21 for details. Done. Easy. Alright, so I guess we're going back to the church and seeing how we're in here. Still night. Let's see if we can check out these pillars. So closing in on the pillars, you notice strange runic symbolism. It's nothing you have seen before, and neither has anyone outside of the village, most probably. It must be an archaic form of a Saurian language. The open pillar, in fact, the open pillar is not, in fact, a pillar, but a stone sarcophagus. So this is where the old undead alligator man beast thing would live, I imagine. There are at least 10 pillars in here, making this church a tomb. The question is, what did they store in here? If you want to open more pillars, you need to force them open using a bladed weapon and passing a strength check. Failing this will cause your weapon to break when it opens a pillar. Do you want to look inside? You know, I kind of feel like I don't want to look inside, because I mean, if it's one of those undead man beast alligator things, then that's gonna cause some major issues for us. So I guess we're gonna sneak back out of the of this church, and we're gonna head back to the tower. Where's the button? Alright, where's the tower? So we're going to sneak back out and then we're going to head towards the tower that we saw. Go on. Go on. You think we should try and open it? I guess we do have a bladed knife. Okay. Seeing how we're here. Large hut. And then we're going to go... How do we get inside? Enter the building. Looking at the pillar, going through my picker path. So what do we have to roll? We have to roll a strength check with a bladed weapon, which I suspect is going to be Halfter will have the most strength, which is good because he also has the knife. For the sake of argument though, I'm going to say that he swaps with Gemma, so Gemma's got the nice knife, and Halfter's going to use this crappy one, and it's just a straight strength check. One success! I didn't even see the success. Oh, it is there. Okay. So he manages to wedge... It kind of cuts it down the side like you're opening a box and getting through some of the sellotape wrapping at the top. And then begins to pry it open and gets to the point where he can actually get his hands in, and then just kind of like heaves and pulls and leverages and gets it open. I imagine it stinks in there. But you shove the blade in between the two parts of the pillar, or rather sarcophagus. And inside is a dried body of a Saurian, standing, arms crossed over its chest. Perhaps these contain the remains of the previous village leaders? Nothing like desecrating a grave after you've been a robber and been attacked inside of a Saurian village after beating them earlier, after trying to rob them. Anyway, sadly there's nothing of value here. The inside of the sarcophagus has a spider-looking icon. It's got a body... And then it's got 2 large bits here, and then like 2 bits here, and then 2 bits here, and 2 bits here. Anyway, that kind of thing. It's got that carved onto it, and it looks again like the one on the strange sheet. Okay, so it was worth looking in here, even if there wasn't any treasure, and it's not like we lost one of our weapons, so that's good. But anyway, we sneak back outside, and now we're going to have a look, see what this tower is. So closing in on the tower, you spot 2 armed guards standing outside, armed with tridents. They are ready to protect this building. The spider senses are tingling mode. So the entrance of this tower seems to be hidden in the roots and branches of a strange plant growing from the swamp on the wall. The entrance of this tower seems to be hidden in the roots and branches of a strange plant growing from the swamp onto the walls, covering the entire first floor. That felt a bit cumbersome to say. The building itself is made from a clay-like stone with cracks and carvings all over it. The tower rises 5 stories high, each floor with a set of open windows. The bottom floor is overgrown, the second has but one single window, and the third has 5 windows spread out evenly. The fourth has 3 windows, and finally the fifth has 5 windows. Atop the tower, a strange crystal spire adorns the roof. This building does not resemble any of the others in the village. You're certain that this was not built by the Saurians. Okie doke. So the tower guards will behave differently depending on your previous endeavours. They will respect anyone with the orb staff, but will never let anyone into the tower. They beg you not to enter, it is a holy place. Can you convince them, or will this encounter end in bloodshed? Well, that's not really for us. If you do not wish to use the front door, that's probably going to be us. You can climb the surface. The second floor is easy to reach, making a climb roll. If you want to climb higher, it gets more difficult. Okay, so yeah, they captured us previously, so I don't think they're going to be friendly to us. They also took back the orb staff. It's interesting though, because to get the orb staff, you would have had to have killed or at least robbed, like we did, robbed the cult leader. Which, why they would then be friendly to you, I don't know, but I guess I didn't write it. This is actually a really fun adventure though, and for anyone that wants to play solo Forbidden Lands, I'd recommend it. It's only a few dollars on drive-thru. So what we're going to do is we're going to sneak around, and then we're going to try and climb up the surface, which is just a climb roll. I figure everyone's going to have to try and make the roll. So, climbing. There is no climb roll. Game. Journal entries, climb. Player's handbook, maybe journeys, nope. Climb? I'm sure I read about climbing at some point. Skills, and we can help each other, that's why I remember it. There's a thing saying that, you know, people can help someone else climb up a thing. No, there's not talents. Where is the journey references? I can't, no. I should probably get the actual rulebook out. Or let's try a quick Google search. Forbidden Lands climb test. Having to climb, Reddit, no. Okay, so I think, oh wait, did it just say, maybe if we just do a move test, would that make sense? I'm gonna go with a move test. Because we are trying to move up the thing. He's probably got the best agility, so he's going to see if he can go first. Going to try and find... Oh, there's lots of roots and stuff, so he's going to try and climb up a bit with these roots, and then he's going to try and help the others. So he gets up, and he shows them the path, and also try and move some of these vines down to try and give other people a helping hand effectively. So I'm going to... Man, she should have gone. Right, let's roll move, but we're going to give her a +1 because of the help action. Nope, so she doesn't quite manage to make it up. Which I think will mean that there's a... Whoa, maybe he should have done it. Let's say... Oh. I think what's going to be is there's enough noise. Yep, so he made it from Gemma that the guards are going to come investigate. But let's just... God, everyone actually has a better... roll than Roll, but he's the one that did it. So somehow Gemma is the one that doesn't quite make it. So the guards are going to come around and investigate. Let's give her one more roll to see if she can get up. They are going to be suspicious. Move, modifier 1, roll, and she gets a success. But let's roll for the guards to see if they come around and they have noticed something is amiss. They can do a scouting roll. Because they're like, maybe they hear some scrabbling noises? And they do, they get a success. So I'm going to say that we get into this tower, up into the second story, but now the guards know, and so we're not going to have as much time. I think there's going to be an encounter inside the tower, and we went inside the second floor. First floor? Second floor. What did I say? So, if you do not wish to use the front door, you can climb the surface. The second floor is easy to reach. Okay. So we've gone to the second floor, inside the tower. The second floor, inside of this building, is quite a sight, simple yet complex, with patterns that confuse as well as impress. It is as if the walls were made of magic. Not stone singing, but something older, something demonic. Okay, so we've come in on the second floor, and opening the trapdoor is easy and takes you into a small room with a single window pointed east towards the morning sun. A wood table stands in front of the window. The sun-bleached planks have a square shape with darker wood, as if a book has laid there for a long time and has now been removed. The stairs continue upwards towards another wooden trapdoor in the ceiling. So I think we're going to bust a move. We're going to get, if the plant... Yes, go to Sector 7G if the plant you wish to flee. So, yeah, they're going to bust a move up one stairs. The guards are going to be coming in. We know that they saw us, so we're going to try and get our move on. So we run up as they're coming in. It's a bit of a chase. Get some chase music going. So there. 5 windows are spread evenly around this room on the 3rd floor where we've just gone up. So each very small in size, but perhaps big enough to exit or enter through, which we might need to like bail out in a minute depending on these guards. So the floor is covered in soot and dust. Footprints in the shape of Saurian shoes lead back and forth towards a ladder on the other side of the room. Above the ladder you see yet another trapdoor made of wood. This one, however, is more difficult to open. Do you force it, or do you try and figure out what's causing the blockage? So I think what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to try and... we're just going to put some weight on the trapdoor. Our stairs leading to another one trapdoor in the zone. Yeah, so we're gonna put some weight on the trapdoor just to try and slow down these Saurians. But then we're going to have a look around inside of this room. So we're going to have a look around, and if you're careful, roll for sleight of hand. Passing the roll means we... Wait. Oh yeah, so they're carefully looking at the door. So if you're careful, roll a sleight of hand. Passing the roll means you disarm the trap. Failing it means a trap is sprung. So, Aura roll would have just gone. And sleight of hand. 6. Yes, there is a 6, so he succeeded. So as he's looking, just being like, what is causing this to... It's like, uh-oh. He finds this thing and disarms it and allows us to return 1 level up. So let's just say that was actually surprisingly quick. Okay, we're gonna bust a move, try and get up, and then we're gonna do the same thing of like closing the hatch and putting some weight on it. So as we poke our head up, you see a blade trap, which must be the trap that he found. As he pushed up and he's like, uh-oh, disarmed the latch, and then came up and saw the blade. So on the wall, I pressed spacebar and the whole thing moved. On the wall, you see 3 windows, all facing east, each with an altar in front of it. On each of the 3 altars, it actually says on each of the tree altars, the penitent man, only the penitent man shall pass. So on each of the, a hemadoa tree, it's terrible Gaelic for counting, a hemadoa tree, a kara kuig she shok hop noin den. I'm sorry for the pronunciation of this as well, but anyway, on each of the tree altars stands a crudely made statue in a shape that reminds you of a saurian or alligator on 2 legs. In the center of the room stands a ladder leading to a circular trapdoor in the ceiling. On the floor, some remains of a runic pattern remain. A 6-sided star, in each end is a circle, and as you search your room, look at this other place. Okay, so there's a nice little picture, which tree altars, exactly, Singaporean writer, or as I say, Irish. Hemdo tree. So we are going to... We're going to get Halfter, biggest guy, to place his weight. In fact, we'll get Halfter and Ulfric to place their weight. And you know what? Gemma is going to... No. There you go. Halfter's going to put his weight. Gemma is going to try and get the trap locked back in again. And Orvold, with the help of Ulfric, are going to have a look through, investigate some of this stuff. So if we go search the room, we're going to look at number 18. So there's strange figurines, as if the person making them didn't know how. They're extremely crude, made from clay, but there's nothing on the altars besides this, and the figurines are solid. Well, that was a boring room. What we might do then is, yeah, get the trapdoor. We're going to put the weight, we're going to set the trap again, and then we're going to pull these altars down and pile them up. So we're really trapping ourselves in here. And below us, I think we can hear the stomping of Saurian feet. But we're going to continue up. So as you open the hatch, you're met with the heavy end of a club from the town elder as he strikes at you using the rules for ambush. Son of a gun! Dressed in purple robes with black and golden detail, he is holding a wooden scepter with golden trims. He is afraid of you. Communication requires a successful manipulation roll. His anger cannot be mistaken. It is caused by you entering his sacred temple, and it's enough for him to try and kill you all. Also, we did attack him earlier, so that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy, Saurian cult leader. Poor old Orvold was going up first, so he's going to get the pointy end of this. Talent, gear, scales, club of the alligator, combat. So right, no successes. So Orvold pushes up the latch and sees this club swinging through like a golf swing, a low golf swing from the elder, and he kind of leans back and drops the hatch a moment as well. Yells out to the others, "There's someone up here with a club. It's the cult leader." Throws it back open, and they're all going to try and pour into the room. But first, we need to actually get into combat. So we're going to do all 4 here. Click the button for combat. Click the combat for combat. Begin. Orvold first. Great. So his move action, he's going to get himself up into the room. And then he's going to try and... I mean, is there like a tackle? Can he... I want him to tackle this guy. Is there an option? Is there already an option for it? Grapple. Yeah, he's going to try and grapple him. Reaches out, grabs his staff, and tries just to take him down effectively. Grapple. Close combat actions, slow actions, grapple. Hold on to your opponent, roll for melee as no weapon can be used. Okay. Godspeed, little man. Actors directory, put that there. Orvold. I kind of need that Saurian as well. Right, so he's going to roll melee. And he gets no successes, but he is going to, I think he's going to push this because this is quite important. Roll for melee, no weapon can be used, can be dodged or parried. And this guy's going to try and dodge him. So let's push. And he gets a success. Good. Cult leader. See if he gets his dodge. He probably is. Absolutely. Okay, so Orvold goes in for a tackle and this guy just sidesteps. Roll to calm his farm. I tried calming his farm and he set the entire village onto me. So I think the time of farm calmage is gone. Halfter is going to pile up and he is going to... Well, heck, he's going to try and stab the guy. Less friendly Halfter, but we're kind of in that situation now. Dagger. It's not a sword though, so we can't use sword fighter, which is a shame. One success. The guy can't dodge because you only get... Well, he can dodge, but then he doesn't get an attack. And I think at this point he's going to use his attack. So not going to dodge. In fact, he's just going to use his armor to see if he can deflect it. Absolutely, yeah. So this puny little stone knife is not enough to get through his armor at this stage. His turn, he's just been stabbed by Halfter, so he's going to swing at Halfter. I think that makes sense. He's also a little nervous because, you know, where is his guards? Why are people in here? He gets one success. Halfter is going to try and get out of the way. He doesn't have a shield anymore, which is a real shame. Let's try and get out of the way of that. We're looking for one success, and he gets one success. Great, so he's stabbing this guy's swing, but the two of them are just moving around too much. Ulfric has no weapons. He's going to climb out, and he's going to, on his next turn, push down the door. He wants to get a little more room between him and the Saurians. But Gemma's going to climb up as well. And then with her dagger, she's also going to try and stab the guy. I really didn't actually want to be violent about this, but it looks like we're in a fight. I think we'll see if we can get out of the fight in a moment. But first of all, let's try and cut a full. Yep, one attack hits. And the cult leader, his scales, will it save him again from her ornate dagger? Yep, absolutely. He got two successes to her one. Right, I'm going to say that in 1d4 turns, the guards are going to come, going to hit the level below. It's all happening quite quickly. 3 turns, that seems like a lot. I'm just going to say 2 turns. Executive decision. So in 2 turns, they're going to get to the floor below. And they can probably hear the scuffle, which is why I'm saying 2 rather than 3 turns. Orvold is going to try and tackle him again. Because again, he's got no weapons. So rolls his melee. No successes, and he's not going to push it this time because he does not have that many points that he can spare. Halfter, cut a fool. Go gadget, stab. And this time he has rolled 2 successes. Now the Saurian is going to try and get out of the way of this. I might just move that over here so I can keep Halfter's one open. He's going to try and he's going to try and parry it with his staff. Oh, but he doesn't do it. Okay, let's see if his scales save him. Scales do not save. So when the Saurian has been distracted, because you know Orvold is leaping and trying to grab him again, but he kind of swings to the side and he sees Halfter out of the corners of his eye, and he's swinging his staff backwards to try and knock away the knife that he sees coming in, but Halfter kind of faints, drops it, not quite the full Game of Thrones switch it to the other hand, but pulls his hand back and then does the stab, and with the staff swinging across, it's opened up a spot, and he goes in into what he would imagine is the softer spot with potentially their scales, and 2 points of damage, not to poor Halfter, to this cult leader. Interesting. I'm going to see whether, because he's taken half damage, I'm going to see whether he is willing to surrender. What do you reckon? Shall we roll his... Maybe I'll just roll his empathy. No, know what? Let's just roll a d6. On a 6, or on a 1. So on a 1, because 1 is a bad thing. He will surrender like we were doing before. So I'm going to roll to calm his farm emoji. What's the chances? So you can rewind the tape. I said on a 1 he will surrender. So he, seeing what we did earlier, puts his hands up and out. and surrenders. There are still guards banging downstairs, and I think I'm gonna end the combat. But the party explains, pointing down and stop those people and hand over the staff, and he is gonna acquiesce, barks out some orders, and the banging from the lower level dies down. So, truth be told, we don't really know what he said. He could be asking them to climb up the outside, but I think he's had enough of a scare, and he's got Halfter sitting there with his knife ready to shank him one more time. I think what it is he has actually surrendered, and has his scepter out. And we try and explain, Oravold is trying to explain that we never wanted to fight, we needed the scepter, that's what we told you last time. So yes, we have temporarily at least calmed the situation down. So looking back in this room, there are 5 windows here. Halfter's moved him into I was going to say a corner, but it's circular, so he's moved him off to one side and he's got his knife ready. But the rest of us are looking around, and now we have the staff. So there are 5 windows here and a hole in the ceiling with a crystal-like spire above it. Draw pictures to explain? Yeah, we'll do, whatchamacallit, charades. Sounds like peace. There are 5 windows here and a hole in the ceiling with a crystal-like spire above it. Each window corresponds with 5 of the 6 points of the gigantic rune drawn on the floor. So each window has an appointed altar right below it. On each altar stands a figurine of serpent-like men. A book lies on the floor. So, shall we look at the altar, the floor, or the ceiling? Okay, I guess we're going to look at the altar first. Again, kind of drawn to tables. So the figurines are extremely detailed. Each of them looks towards the center of the room, and on their bottom is the floor rune, but each is unique. On the altar is a corresponding rune as one of the figurines. Not all of the runes match altar with figurine, but one of them has this kind of tree-looking altar, and you know what, I'm not going to try and draw... Yeah, sure I am, why not? It's got this kind of tree-looking thing... And it's got this little branch, and then it's got some tree roots. And it's got a couple of branches. Someone's got an icon that's been carved, and it looks exactly like one of the ones on our sheet. These are all icons that we've seen on our sheet. This is not. This is on the temple door, church door. Right, returning to the tower. So that's what's on the altar. So I guess we're now going to look at the floor. Makes sense? Catches the eye. So the wood floor creaks as we walk on it. The book on the floor is written in an unknown runic language that reminds us of the patterns on the wall on the first floor, which we didn't actually look at, so it doesn't remind us of anything. Oh no, it probably reminds us of the patterns that we saw in the church with the alligator man beast things. That makes sense. So as you look down the trapdoor, you notice a small hole directly below you in the center of the floor in the 4th room. It's big enough to fit a staff. Deciphering the book takes a quarter day or successor roll on lore. So I don't think we're going to take half a day. I think what we'll do is we'll find... That's not what I was looking for. We're going to find who has lore. That isn't Halfdor, because he's busy. I suspect it's going to be the druid. And if it's not, I'm going to be surprised. Lore. Wow, it's not. Okay, who has the highest wits? 3. Metagaming a little bit here. 3. And wits of 3. Doesn't really matter. Okay, Oravold. He's going to try and figure this out. But you know, I'm going to give +2 because the other 2 are also trying to help him. They're like, oh, what do you think this means? I mean, this looks like this symbol, or could it be... Alfred's like, oh, I saw this thing once upon a time. So there is a success. Excellent. So we may be difficult, but we are going to try and decipher this book. Deciphering the book was not easy. No, most of it is gibberish. It has all the icons with the same number that you use, but also has a verse below the icons. Oh great. The serpent waits in its hole as the sun rises in front of the tower. If you solved it, look at the corresponding event. What do you mean if I solved it? The serpent waits in its hole as the sun rises in front of the tower. I imagine it just means stick the staff and wait for the sunrise. So, I don't know if that counts as solving it. Anyway, we're going to look at the ceiling whilst waiting. But at sunrise, like, do you think we just stick the staff in this hole at sunrise? So anyway, look at the ceiling whilst we're here. So looking up, you see nothing but black metal ceiling and a hole. The large crystal spire is put in its place with intricate metalwork. It is pointing directly down into the hole that is the trapdoor, as if waiting for something. Yeah, so we're absolutely going to wait for morning, or wait for the sun, which is still a number of hours away, to see what happens when we put the stone here. I'm going to roll, and I tell you what, let's roll on the empathy of the cult leader. We're just going to roll empathy. Manipulation. Gonna roll, doesn't really matter either way. We're gonna roll, and if we get ones, he was trying to trick us. But if not, he's actually surrendered and did actually tell them to stand down. Okay, so there was no ones rolled. It was a success, but I said if there's ones rolled, he's doing a cheeky, but he didn't. So there's a moment of peace. Even Halfdor stands down. He's not... We didn't actually want to get in this fight. We wanted to just get the staff. And so I think what's going to happen is, I'm looking at the floor, and I'm going to say that we did solve it. I assume we solved it. But I'm going to end the stream here, and yeah, we'll come back to it next time. Little transition there. Right, so that has been another adventure in the... Thank you, Lizard Uncle. Exactly. The tree altar. Why are you so like that, Saurians? So, yeah, this has been another adventure in the City of Gold, using the Forbidden Land system by Free League. We'll pick it up again next time. So far, there's a moment of peace. We might have made some good progress, and for once, we managed to not get captured or killed. We did get attacked because that just seems to be the kind of people we are. Thank you for coming by. Thank you, Moji. Thank you for anyone that watches this after the fact. Do look after yourselves. Don't forget to take a break. And I hope to see you all again next time. Alright. Cheers. Bye.